It's 1991. Operation Desert Shield has swiftly transitioned into Desert Storm, and the U.S. Army is charging against Iraq's Republican Guard in the Middle East. Explosions rumble everywhere, and small arms fire impacts the American mechanized infantry as it makes its way to an enemy stronghold full of anti-armor obstacles. Emplacements from the enemy plague the road toward their positions. The Iraqis think themselves inexpugnable, but they are not. Among the American Bradleys rises a small, lightweight, and inoffensive vehicle armed with a dozer blade. It's the Army's latest Armored Combat Earthmover, the M9 Ace. With a top speed of over 50 kilometers per hour, the M9 and its single driver have no issue following the armored column, spearheading the assault against the enemy. The clash occurs. The American soldiers dismount, throw grenades, and engage the enemy. They advance slowly but steadily while the armor stops. It's time for the M9 Ace to shine. The driver swiftly maneuvers its dozer blade amid enemy gunfire and begins tearing apart the enemy defenses to carve a path for the armor and soldiers. The blade plows through debris, explosive hazards, and other obstacles. Fire increases, but the side armor panels protect the driver. The troops eagerly await for the M9 to finish the job, and when it does, the driver pops up one of the smoke discharges and retreats. The road is clear for the troops and the vehicles, and the Iraqis are truly terrified. The M9 Armored Combat Earthmover, or ACE, is a highly versatile armored engineering vehicle developed for the United States Army and Marine Corps. It was designed primarily for frontline construction, demolition, and earth-moving tasks that support combat engineering units. Its development began in the 1970s to provide a mobile and protected platform for undertaking various battlefield engineering tasks, such as preparing defensive positions, clearing obstacles, and constructing field fortifications. The vehicle's design philosophy has its roots in the UET, or Universal Engineered Tractor, a further development of the Army's 1958 ABC, or All-Purpose Ballistable Crawler. Military personnel sought a small, lightweight vehicle that could be employed alongside mechanized units to support them in advancing across hostile terrain. It had to be small enough to be airdroppable and capable of crossing rivers. After several tests and redesign phases, the Army introduced the ACE in 1986. The M9 has a length of 6.25 meters, a width of 3.2 meters, a height of 2.7 meters, and a mass of around 24 metric tons. The ACE is powered by a 295 horsepower Cummins V903C 8-cylinder diesel engine, allowing the vehicle to reach a top speed of 48 kilometers per hour and a range of some 300 kilometers. The M9 Ace is built on a tracked platform, providing excellent mobility across various terrain, including soft ground and muddy conditions. Its relatively compact size and mobility make it effective in multiple combat scenarios. In addition, the M9 Ace can withstand water obstacles and is amphibious with minimal preparation, enhancing its operational flexibility in various environments. While it offers protection against small arms fire and shell splinters, the armor is not intended to withstand direct hits from heavy weapons. The design prioritizes a balance between safety and mobility. Following its tractor nature, the M9 vehicle is equipped with a powerful front-mounted dozer blade and a rear scraper blade, enabling it to perform earth-moving tasks efficiently. It can fill ditches, prepare firing positions, clear obstacles, and construct defensive berms. The M9 can also use several systems, such as the M58 mine-clearing line charge, to clean an area of explosive devices. Operated by a single crew member, the M9 Ace features a unique hydropneumatic suspension system that allows the operator to adjust the vehicle's ground clearance. This system is crucial for stabilizing the vehicle during earth-moving operations and varying the configuration to adapt to different tasks. To enhance the operator's comfort inside the cabin, particularly next to the engine's intense heat, a microclimate cooling system, or MCS, vest was introduced. The development and deployment of the M9 Ace underscore the importance of engineering vehicles in modern military operations, providing essential support for combat units by shaping the battlefield to their advantage. On August 2, 1990, the United States called its allies and the United Nations to form a coalition against Iraq after it invaded Kuwait without any justifiable measure. The Republican Army marched violently and crossed Kuwait's border with thousands of Soviet-made tanks and weaponry. Despite international condemnation, Saddam Hussein, the sole master of Iraq, did not back down and reinforced his control of Kuwait. As such, the U.S. decided to launch Operation Desert Shield. The objective was to defend Saudi Arabia from a potential Iraqi invasion and to deter further aggression by Iraq. It involved the largest deployment of U.S. troops since the Vietnam War as part of the multinational coalition. The operation saw the buildup of coalition forces in Saudi Arabia and the Persian Gulf region. It included not just military personnel, but also an extensive display of military hardware, including most of the M9 Aces, aimed at ensuring the defense of Saudi Arabia and preparing for the potential liberation of Kuwait. While the U.S. deployed its armored forces to break into enemy-controlled territory, M9 Ace drivers prepared to roll side by side against the mechanized infantry. They were ready to lead the way with the support of IFVs, or infantry fighting vehicles, clearing roads and obstacles for the infantry to overcome quickly. After diplomatic efforts and sanctions failed to persuade Iraq to withdraw from Kuwait, the coalition began immediate military action on January 17, 1991, to expel Iraqi forces from Kuwait and restore Kuwaiti sovereignty. Desert Shield evolved into Desert Storm and commenced with an extensive aerial bombing campaign, swiftly followed by a ground assault launched on February 24, 1991. The ground war lasted just 100 hours before a ceasefire was declared. During the initial stage of the assaults, the M9 Aces joined the fight with the American infantry wherever they went. They became essential to keep the flow of coalition troops into enemy strongholds. Using their varied engineering tools, the M9 smashed through enemy fortifications, roadblocks, and other obstacles, allowing the infantry to fight them head-on. No stone or pile of rubble was left unturned or shattered by the M9s aiding the American GIs engaging hostile troops who thought themselves strong in fortified positions. Nevertheless, the M9 Aces were far from perfect. Although American troops welcomed their capability to catch up with them almost instantly, to move enemy emplacements away, or dig in improvised trenches for heavier vehicles, they proved less potent than expected regarding earth-moving. It had almost the same pushing and towing strength as the Army's D7 Caterpillar, but it underperformed when it came to rough earth-moving to create holes for the American armor. Despite this shortcoming, tankers and IFVs grew fond of the M9 Aces due to their excellent maneuverability, speed, and flexibility, which integrated perfectly with most mobile armored units. Its armor, although thin, offered better protection than the Caterpillar, making the M9 Ace better suited for combat engagements. It was resistant to small arms fire and shell splinters, and even featured NBC, or nuclear, biological, and chemical protection for the lone operator of the vehicle. The M9s often spearheaded assaults into enemy trenches to clear them out, but lacking any defensive armor, the engineer relied on his rifle, carbine, or pistol, or those carried by the soldiers who accompanied him. When the situation turned personal and desperate against the Iraqi Republican Guard during firefights, the driver could launch several of the smoke dischargers to cover the vehicle's retreat or protect the Allied infantry from suppressing fire from the enemy. The M9 Aces did an outstanding job during Operation Desert Storm, but some were prone to malfunctions, mainly hydraulic faults that took hours to repair. This left the mechanized infantry without vehicles that could clear roads or create makeshift defensive positions. Military engineers made minor modifications to the vehicles and later relaunched them for the invasion of Iraq at the beginning of the 21st century. Following the attacks on the Twin Towers, the United States dispatched the seasoned M9 Aces to the Middle East from 2003 to 2011. During these tiresome years of military and political turmoil, the flaws of the M9 became more apparent. The Aces could no longer dismantle anti-tank obstacles such as ditches and berms with their usual efficiency. Furthermore, the driver's incapacity to see precisely where the vehicle was scrapping became a problem due to his position in relation to the blade. This was dangerous and impractical, as it took longer for the driver to clear an obstacle. As if that was not enough, the intensity of the firefights against the enemy and their mass usage of IEDs, improvised explosive devices, and RPGs made the M9's armor ultimately futile, with some drivers stating the Aces were alone, unarmed, and unafraid. Some side armor panels were added, but not enough to protect the small tractor from the enemy, leading the Army to shift how the M9 operated in Iraq. It was only deployed with the support of 2 M2 Bradley IFVs that were armed and carried soldiers. Following this tactic, several M9s took part in an operation inside Ramadi in 2007. The objective was establishing an OP, or observation post, between 2 already established American outposts. The M9s that rose to the occasion belonged to C Company, 9th Engineer Battalion, 1st Infantry Division. Their names were Dirt Diggler and the Quicker Picker Upper, or Bounty, and they rapidly paved the way to build the OP just in time to return to base and wash away the vehicle's graffiti before command forced them to do so with a toothbrush. In 2014, the U.S. Marine Corps introduced revamped M9 vehicles into service after an extensive upgrade program that eliminated most of the ACE's problems. In an interview with Defense Network, Captain Gregory B. Procaccini, the M9 ACE project officer, stated, quote, "The new M9 ACE has an upgraded hull, improved hydraulic systems, bigger engine, and an added front camera system, so now the operator can see what's going on in front of him. The new engine allows the M9 to catch up with convoys without needing a truck and makes removing dirt more efficient. Furthermore, a 360-degree camera system allows the driver to see what he's doing in real time without needing to get up from his seat, enhancing his movements with precision." The Marine Corps is updating a system that's been around longer than many of its combat engineers have been alive. Although the upgrade program is still underway, the Marines expect to introduce over 100 upgraded M9 ACEs in the following years, preparing their leathernecks for use abroad, especially in Asia, given the rising tensions between the US, Taiwan, and China.